creeping near the edges of our awareness. Untold stories, like strange footprints plastered in snow, are left tucked away in attics, hearsay, crumbled newspapers, campfire stories, and hand-me-downs. On some occasions, they may cross our paths, coming in uninvited, or perhaps bearing great omens. Until then, they are formless myths, haunting the airs like mist over mountains. My mom used to tell me of curious experiences she had in her grandparents' house. It was a rural town on the Golden Plains of Colorado. It survived hailstorms, blizzards, and tornadoes. It originally belonged to a woman whom we only know as Lucy White. My great-grandparents didn't talk much about Miss White. I wasn't able to find any obituaries for her. We do know, however, that she had an open casket funeral in the living room. Now, my gran and her two brothers, my great-uncles, my mom and uncle all lived or slept in this house at one point or another. According to all of them, the attic was their least favorite room. By a stroke of misfortune, it was also where most of them had to sleep. Up a narrow staircase and through a small door, this room held within it a strange energy. My gran used to leave her light on all night. She would force her eyes open until she couldn't any longer, and eventually she had to relinquish her defenses, and her tired eyes gave in to the weight of the night. All of this because she had had such an unsettling feeling, laying alone in her bed in that attic. So many oddities and eerie happenings were experienced here. Noises, doors slamming, movement, and creaks were heard in the other rooms around the house at night. There were some occasions where it sounded like furniture was being moved around in my great-uncle's room, even when he wasn't there. My great-grandma one day remarked to my gran, "Why were you in your brother's room moving furniture around all night?" The thing is, they were the only ones in the house that night. And things went missing. There was a large horse picture hanging above her bed frame. One day, it fell down behind the bed and was never to be found again. Furniture moving around and the fate of inanimate objects was unsettling. But it wasn't terrifying. No. This honor goes to the day that the house was being remodeled. Inside the attic bedroom was a small room behind the closet, which was used for extra storage. The remodeling team moved to this closet to tear down the wallpaper. Behind this closed door, to their shock, a butcher knife was stuck in one of the wooden beams. Now, this closet, unsurprisingly enough, seemed to have a strange aura to it, like something was taking hold of you, drawing you towards it. My mom recalls waking up frozen in the night, feeling as if her arms were being pulled towards the closet. On another occasion, my mom felt someone lying behind her in the bed. That same dark feeling, frozen with fear and unable to move. Now, after my great-grandpa Roy had passed away, The occurrences continued, but with different inflections. Every night, my great-grandma made sure to lock all of the doors, especially the door in the kitchen. On some windless nights, the door would open and then slam shut. "That's just Roy," she would say. The irony is, when Roy and his family would sit around the dinner table, he would always joke and say, "There's Lucy again," when a strange noise, like movement or footsteps, would be heard upstairs. After my great-grandma's passing, the house emptied itself of living family members. Slowly, family removed old items out of its shadowy alcoves. There was a time when the family was gathering at my great-aunt and uncle's house nearby. My mom had gone in the old house to grab something, and in the silence, quiet enough to hear the dropping of a pin, the front door suddenly opened and slammed shut. She looked around outside, and nobody was to be found. It was a still, windless day, and she had surely shut the door. As time progressed, new families moved in, and then left. The second family to move in, after my great-grandma's passing, was a couple with 2 children. The woman who lives there has shared but one experience and strange coincidence, let's just say. I neglected to mention that my great-aunt and uncle live in a house nearby that they built after they bought land from my great-grandma and grandpa. One day, this new resident came to their place to chat, and as she was standing in their kitchen, a cozy place with a long dining table and lots of antiques, her eyes flitted upwards. Old pictures hang everywhere on the wall. She pointed to one of them and said, "I saw this woman standing at the foot of my bed last night." What she didn't know is these were photos of distant family members. My great-aunt and uncle don't really like to talk about who these people are, so unfortunately I can't say who they are. To this day, the children who live there now exclusively play downstairs, and will not play in the attic. There have been times where my great-aunt and uncle were in their garden, facing the old farmhouse, on the warmest and sunny days, and a chill will move through them